Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome to Inspiration Nation Live. Lee and Ryan can't join us, so I've just come on to do a short live by myself. It's a long time since I've done this, but this is where you get the opportunity to help and do me this live. Help me do this live, right? So today, the subject and the quote is, for me, is suicide is a permanent solution to temporary problems. That quote was issued by Robin Williams, who was amazing. And yes, he did die of suicide. When they did, the autopsy, they found he was suffering from something called Lewy body dementia, which basically causes hallucinations and dementia. So he really suffered. But what he left behind was obviously his comedy and all of his thoughts, and we can take courage from that. Even though he did commit suicide, he left us with a really powerful quote, and he clearly was really suffering. Now, I want to just share with you a stat which I found out about men's suicide, and if you are struggling with this, please reach out to Samaritans. You can find them on the website, you can text them, and you can chat with them, and they deal with all types of mental health problems as well, not just suicide. But if you're struggling as a man and you are struggling with things, or anyone's struggling, but primarily men, because the stat is 3.5 times more men do actually are like to die from suicide, and I can attest to that. I struggled myself. I had a family and everything, and if you go to episode 1 of the podcast, I tell my story about what I suffered with, and I don't want anyone else to go through that. So this is why I'm doing this episode, and I'm talking about men's mental health and men just being vulnerable about how they're feeling, because there's a lot of discussion around men should be men, right? Oh, well, that's very good. I can't feel any feelings, right? But that is covering up a ton of pain, right? A ton of pain, and that's how I felt back in the 90s, right? No one really understood mental health back then. Much better now, but I still think there's tons and tons of work to do. Hey Megs, join in. Thank you for joining. So this is why I'm doing this episode totally on this, and I want to explore more why men can't feel vulnerable, or if they feel that they have to be the provider, the pressure that comes with that. I know I felt that, so I just want to share this because you're not alone. Other men feel like that. I felt like that. I had to go through this journey of going through counselling and being true to myself about how I was feeling. And you may find this, so that's why this sort of stuff is important, right? So what was the first thing that I needed to do when I was struggling? Well, the first thing I needed to do when I was struggling was I needed to tell somebody, and I didn't want to tell anybody. In fact, it got so bad that when I was struggling with mental health, I just had the voice in my head telling me I'm no good enough, I'm not good enough for this, I'm not good enough for that. And I just couldn't tell anyone. I felt like the feeling was like I was in this hole and I just couldn't get out. No one could tell I was in the hole. If you spoke to me back then, and I would have been in my I'd say very late 20s, early 30s, you'd never have known that I was struggling at all, and I had these thoughts that I didn't want to be here anymore, and everything like that. And that's when I discovered, counselling, being honest with myself. It didn't happen overnight. It's taken many, many years to get to a space where I can share this with you, right? And be honest about it. That I wasn't feeling great. Just wasn't. And I do really feel now that vulnerability is a strength, and that we can share these things together. And this is where a lot of my content now on TikTok and all that is going, is let's be real. Let's be real about how we're all feeling, because you get that phrase from people, right? How you doing? And you go, yeah, I'm fine. Are you really fine? Maybe not. Maybe you are, right? But can we be honest in those conversations? Now I get it. Sometimes you are saying, how are you doing? And you go through your day, right? But let's find out how we're really feeling. There's too much of this surface stuff going on, and we as human beings need to connect and inspire each other to be vulnerable. And actually, as I said before, Brené Brown, she said that vulnerability is a strength. And I truly believe that. So I love these things behind me, like Believe, this is Ted Lasso, stuff like that. I love this stuff. And I'm very big on coaching. I coach leaders every day. I coach people inside, outside work. I love it. And it's really helped me get to where I am now. I wouldn't be in front of you had it not been me having my counselling when I struggled. And also, having coaching, having purpose, that I don't want anyone else to go through what I went through. I want you to be able to avoid it, right? And that means having purpose in your life. That means aiming for big things. If things aren't working well, then how are you going to change them? What are you going to start doing? Because we've got to be honest. No one's coming to save us, right? We might get a bit of help, but we've got to start doing the work ourselves. And that's one of the hardest things to realise, is that it's your challenge, right? Your mental health is your challenge, and you've got to put things in place to start making that better. And it's really difficult, because the first thing is you've got to try and you've got to ask for help. You've got to get help, and that's one of the most hardest things to start with. But once you start the journey, I promise you that it's you find out a lot about yourself. You find out that you're stronger than you think you are. I know I definitely am. I know that when I started this journey over 10 years ago, well, it was well over that 10 years ago. I started the YouTube channel well over 10 years ago, and I'm going to post this to YouTube. But again, if you've got any questions, please let me know. I just wanted to set some shout outs. Thank you, Mr. for joining. Thank you, Megs, for joining. Thank you, Papa, for joining. Thank you, Universal, for joining. So some people joining, I love that. But this is why I want to talk about this, and the challenge around mental health and vulnerability in men, and the pressures that we can feel. And I think I am very lucky, and I've got a wife who's very understanding. Maybe understand exactly what I was going through, but was supportive. And actually, when I left work, and when I was going to work, I didn't actually want to arrive at work. That's how bad it got. Right? I didn't want to arrive at work. I want to go past work. Right? I didn't want to go to work. And then when I eventually broke down and told my boss, I think my boss didn't even know what to do with it. It was back in those days. Anyway, my wife went to the doctors. Right, went to the doctors with me, and we talked to the doctors, and then that's when I started to get help. And I hope this video this live will help somebody out there, get that help, because there's a lot of things going on in this world. There's a lot of change. We think about AI and job displacements coming. We're going to have to retrain ourselves. We're going to have to look at that. So the best thing to do is embrace new technology, because it's coming whether we like it or not, and being true to reality. Where are we right now? We need to embrace all these things. So I myself, I was doing I still am working for financial services, but I'm pivoting my skills. I want to do more coaching, and I have been doing that now for over 20 years. But there was no role for coaching in my current place. But through talking about coaching, running coaching sessions, doing lifestyle coaching for leaders. Now I coach leaders, and I coach other people around other things too. In fact, I'm coaching someone at the moment around book writing. And as you know, behind me, if you see this at the top there, there's no such word as can't. Right? You can see that there? I don't know if you can see that. It's backwards, I think, on the camera, but that's Jo Writer, coach. And she has written a book, and I supported that. We've done that on the podcast. So there seems to be some sort of writing going on. I'm getting a link for writing. But yeah, post any questions you've got. I've probably got 5 minutes left of the live, but post any questions you want. What are you working on? Are you struggling with your mental health right now? Don't forget, there's lots of help out there. We just got to reach out, and one of the hardest things is reaching out, right? Reach out for help. Although it may be hard, just tell somebody that you trust about what's happening. It's so important. And I don't want you to, as I said, I don't want any of you to go through what I went through at all, right? So that's, again, what it's for. So Robin Williams has said that quote at the top: suicide is a permanent solution for temporary problems. And I really do do really think that. Hey, Wiku's in the house. Wiku, how are you? How are you doing? Wiku's a frequent joiner of the podcast, likes this live, gets it out there, and I really appreciate Wiku, because Wiku is, I don't know how he quickly presses this button. You can see that on there, like it's already gone up to 90. It's amazing. So thank you, Wiku. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I really appreciate you doing that. But yeah, any questions? Wiku, have you got any questions that you want to ask for the podcast? Because Lee and Ryan can't make it tonight, but let me know if you've got any questions about anything, right? What you want to achieve, whatever. I know today is about men's mental health, right? And being vulnerable. But if you've got any questions, let me know. You deserve it, because you are liking this vibe. We've got 109 likes already. But yeah, love that. Thank you, Levi. Please join. Thank you, TY, for joining as well. I'm just trying to read because sometimes it gets mixed up with the mic there. But yeah, I'm just saying hello. Welcome to the live. Don't forget to like the live, share the live. Making sure that, you know, we do that. Lovely. Thank you. Whoever was that, who gifted. Thank you, TY. I really appreciate you. Massive thank you for the gift. Appreciate that. Supports the podcast, right? All this supports the podcast. We want to do this to help people out there that are struggling, right? And did a video today, another real sad loss to the, you know, to the world. Liam Payne, right? Died was such a shame. And, you know, one of the lessons we have to learn is that, which is difficult, right, is thank you, Finnick, for liking the live. Thank you so much. Ask a question. Feel free to ask a question. We've got Finnick and Wiku liking this live to death. Love that. Hey, Beats, how you doing? Hey, Beats. Please, you know, you've earned the right to ask a question, so feel free to ask a question and I will answer it as best I can. If I don't know the answer, I'll say I don't know, or I might ask you a question back. I'll coach you as we talk through this live. But yeah, really appreciate it. Massive appreciation for doing that. So yeah, what else are we talking about? What was I talking about when I got distracted? Yeah, I think questions. Any questions? Let me know. I'm up for questions. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was talking about. Liam Payne, right? And he's no longer with us, right? Super talented guy. You know, I didn't really listen to One Direction, but when I hear young people dying, I just think it's an absolute travesty. Like, I think he was 31 or something. But what we've got to remember is that we don't know when death is coming, right? So we've got to make the most of. We've got to make the most of now. Got to make the most of each day, because you've only got a small amount of time, right? Hey, Maisie, thank you so much for joining. I've probably got a couple of minutes left on the live, so any questions, please ask a question. Hey, WYO8, appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like the live. Like the live, share it with other people. Tell people where we are, because we want to help more people through all this live content that we produce. I mean, we've got over 200 odd episodes of the podcast. I've got 1,600 videos on my YouTube channel. They're all free. You can look at them. I'm currently going through a 100-day personal development challenge. I've been recording a video every day for 100 days. And I want to make sure that there's stuff out there to help you for free, right? For free, for nothing. All it requires from you is to watch the videos and take some actions off the back of the videos to help yourself. So that is what this is all about, right? Hey Beats, thanks for joining. So yeah, really super sad that Liam Payne died, and yeah, struggling with that in terms of the, you know, the potential when he's left a young lad behind, a young boy behind, and I lost my mum, and that was challenging, you know, and it's going to be challenging for him. But we're here together, right, as human beings on a planet, trying to do the best we can. If we think about, we're on this little blue rock floating in the middle of the universe. We're absolutely microscopic compared to everything else, but we're just trying to do our best, right? We're just trying to help each other along, and that's what I try and do every day. That's through my coaching and my conversations with people. And this episode right now is just really to help people. Welcome, Ronaldo. Thank you so much for joining. And you followed me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please get others to follow. Appreciate it. Thank you, and welcome to the Inspiration Nation community. Massive appreciation. Please don't forget to like the live as well. Like the live, and let's get this out there to more people. Getting a bit of growth on TikTok now, which is lovely, and that's thanks to you for telling other people about us. We're also on YouTube. We're also on X. Listen to IN. I think if Lee was here, would tell you what that is. If you just type in Jose Noya-Inspiration Nation into your favourite search engine, we usually say Google machine, you will find me and all the content. So just live a good life, right? Time is your most important asset. And you may know Simon Squibb on TikTok. I actually interviewed him. He's a millionaire that helps people for free. So I totally buy into his mission. And he's done some brilliant YouTube videos. You know, if you want to start your own business, you know, so you remember, aim for what you want. You know, it's not going to be easy, right? It's not going to be easy, but aim for what you want. Live life on your terms. And yes, challenges are going to come in, but they're going to be challenges for you to solve, because those challenges are the things that are going to make you grow. And yes, we don't like them. I didn't like having mental health challenges. I hated it, but I had to get through it. But that made me stronger, and I would never change that now. I wouldn't change it because I'm here in front of you, right? Thank you, Clara, for joining. Thank you. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thank you for liking the live. And Clara, got a couple of minutes left. I've been here longer than I should. You've earned the right to ask a question. So feel free to ask a question. I'll do my best to answer it, so to interact, you know. Thank you, Clara. Appreciate it. I'm doing fine, Clara. How are you? And I'm really asking, how are you? How are you feeling? How are you thinking? And every day in my content, I ask that. You know, I really mean it. Right? We're here together on this planet. Right? This is not a TikTok live where we're trying to do, you know, these little services. We are really trying to connect as a community. All right? Connect as a community. That's brilliant, Clara. I'm glad you're feeling good, and you're feeling good, right? So what are you feeling good? What's good? What's good? What's good right now? What's good not? I think sometimes we should celebrate the good, right? Love that. Ben Knows Best. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Inspiration Nation podcast. Ben Knows Best. Love that. Yeah, celebrate the good. So I try and do gratitude. I do journaling. What was I grateful today? Waking up and having a walk. Honestly, I'm so grateful for just the smallest things these days. Just that I've woken up. I'm getting to that age now where I'm in the last third of my life, right? So I want to make sure that I leave something behind, and I'm helping as many people as possible before I leave this planet, right? Through these conversations. It's so important, right? And that I want you to pass this on to other people too. Like, let's, as human race, let's try and help each other, right? With all the change coming, like I said before, AI, all that stuff, all the challenges. I love that. Clara, you're totally on my page. Look at that. Clara says, I was grateful as well for waking up. Life is a gift. I love it. It is. But I never used to think like that. When I was struggling with mental health, I never used to think like that. I used to take it for granted. And I had to realise it. So thank you, Clara. I love that. Ben, I'm just going to say hi to you. I love that. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and as I say, I just started the top of the session. So Clara, I don't know if you joined a little bit later, but I was just saying about men's suicide, and 3.5 times more men are likely to commit suicide. So I'm just referencing Samaritans if you are struggling. And Samaritans goes for anybody, so men, women, but it'd be interesting to get, you know, a lady's perspective or the women's perspective on this, because I think from my perspective the women tell with mental health a lot better than us guys, that you just seem to be more in touch with your emotions and talking to other women. She'd be more open about it. Us guys, we tend to be a bit more closed. I don't want to talk about it. It's a bit difficult. You know. And I definitely felt that. Definitely due to upbringing. Thank you so much for liking. Wow, so I love it that you're loving this and liking it. Thank you so much, Clara. I really appreciate the time that you're spending, because your time's precious. So thank you so much for doing that. I think I've been on here. How long have I been on here for now? I don't know. How long has it been? I can't even know. I think it's probably about 20 minutes. Thank you, Eyeballs, for joining. Eyeballs. And the reason I said eyeballs is because I just see 2 eyes peering to the left, like this. I don't know what that means, but thanks for joining. Appreciate you. But Clara, thank you so much. You're joining the list of legends like Wiku, who comes in and likes the live. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Massive appreciation. So shall I wrap up? Any more questions from anybody? Clara, we've got another question. Let me know. If not, I'll wrap this bad boy up. But don't forget to keep catching out the content. I produce content every day on TikTok, every day on YouTube. There's content. And again, it's really funny. I've just got I get notifications through, right? And this is so weird, right? Dean Graciosi, who's on Twitter, and he's sort of self-development as well, knows Tony Robbins. He just done a tweet. Nobody's coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. No worries, Clara. Yeah. Appreciate you for coming on and liking this live, because I can't tell you how much your likes really do help this podcast and really do help this grow. And so please share it with other people. Tell them about it. You know, it only works with you telling other people about what this is. So, oh, thank you for following. That is even brilliant. That's so, I massively appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single follow. I appreciate every single like, because without it, we just can't get it. So please tell people, please get them to follow. Please, let's build a momentum. Let's build a community together where we can come together and help each other, right? That's the power of community. And, you know, this world is too, you know, at the minute, it's, you know, we go out there, think at the world is too much not helping each other, right? Not helping each other. I just sometimes get that. So this space, you can be vulnerable, you can be yourself, be who you are, challenge, ask questions, be kind though. That's what it's about, right? Kindness. So, right, I'm going to wrap this up. Right, thank you so much for joining, Clara and Wiku. Especially thank you to you two for liking and following. Massive thank you for that. I really appreciate it. You can't tell how much I appreciate it. Look at that, up to 509 likes. Brilliant. You must go like this. I mean, like, literally, you must be absolutely knackered. Anyway, thank you so much. And look, don't forget the live next week. Usually on a Wednesday or Thursday around this time. Usually about 6 o'clock usually tune in. But as I said, I really, really appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. And we'll see you soon on the next video, next live. And let me know what you think of the content. I'm always up for your feedback because I want to make this useful for you. So anything you want us to talk about, let us know. Anyway, thanks, Clara. Thank you, community. I appreciate you. Inspiration Nation. Thanks, Wiku. Thank you, everyone. Inspiration Nation. And I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Have a lovely rest of your week.